You're listening to Get Clarity with Jamie Smart.
Our topic tonight is deep enrollment. What does it mean, deep enrollment? And I was reflecting on it. And funnily enough, I was doing a recording, creating a training module for a program I've been delivering called Coaching Language Magic. And the module was all about enrollment. And so I sat down to record that module, and the first thing I wanted to talk about on that recording is the fact that kind of my definition of enrollment is, if you think about enrollment, a lot of times people think about it as, well, helping someone sign up for something or selling something or that sort of thing. But as I think of enrollment, when you're enrolling someone, you're enrolling them in a bigger vision for their life, a bigger vision for what's possible for them, a bigger vision for their organization, for their mission in the world. And if you want to enroll someone in a bigger vision of what's possible for them, you need to lead the way by enrolling yourself in a bigger vision of what's possible for you. And so I sat down to record this module, and I got kind of 3 minutes in and I just ran out of gas. It was like, oh man. And I was talking about this very stuff and I ran out of gas. And I thought, I guess, maybe I didn't get enough sleep last night. I'll try it again later. So I tried it again the next day. And I got sort of 15 minutes in, and then I ran out of gas again and I couldn't figure it out, because normally I find these modules actually a joy to record and very straightforward. So I was puzzled about it. Like, why do I keep kind of running out of juice on this? And so I was reflecting on it. And I suddenly realized, if you want to teach this module, you need to enroll yourself in a bigger vision for your life and what's possible for you. And while I do that a lot, right? Like those questions like, if there were a miracle tonight and everything could be how you want it to be, how would you know a miracle had occurred? I spend a lot of time with that sort of thing. But I realized that there's a way in which I'd kind of allowed myself to be kind of running on an old idea of what was important to me, what was possible for me, what made my heart light up. And so I needed to reconnect with it and get it completely fresh. So I did that. I took a couple of days just spending time in reflection, asking myself those kind of questions that you'll be familiar with. If I could wave a magic wand and you could have everything the way you want it to be, how would you know the magic wand had worked? What would you see? What would you hear? What would you feel that would let you know the magic wand had worked? Or the miracle question, if there were a miracle tonight such that when you woke up in the morning, everything was as you'd love it to be, what would let you know the miracle had taken place? What would you see and hear and feel that would let you know a miracle had happened? And I just spent time with those questions, and more importantly, spent time in the feeling of what matters to me. For me, I had an insight a few years ago. I was reading the book, The Missing Link by Sydney Banks. And in the introduction to that book, he says, there are those in this world who believe miracles do not happen. I can assure such skeptics that they do. With hope and faith as beacons, anything can happen. And I read those words and I fell out of all the thinking I didn't even realize I'd been doing. And I fell awake to the moment, and I was filled with a beautiful feeling. And when I came back to the here and now, the words ringing in my ears were, you're going to have a beautiful life and work you love, and you don't even need to know how it's going to happen. And that insight, that feeling, that knowing has been guiding me ever since, and has been having me make changes ever since and take the next step and all that sort of stuff. And what I realized was I had to get really, really present to that and the latest instantiation of that before I could record this module. So I did that. And then I sat down to record the module. Third time lucky, it just flowed out of me. And so what I'm going to suggest to you is that at the heart of deep enrollment, yes, there are all the good enrollment questions you can ask and the things that are important in enrollment and all that sort of stuff. But at the heart of what I mean by deep enrollment is enrolling a person in a bigger vision, a more aligned vision of what's possible for them, of what matters to them. Because to me, it seems that, you know, while we live in a semantic environment which gives us all kinds of ideas about what we should want, what successful people have and what good people have and all that sort of stuff. My assertion to you is that every single one of us comes with an authentic blueprint with specific gifts that we're here to bring to the world and specific authentic desires that really matter to us and that are our path to walk, you could say. And so part of the art of deep enrollment is awakening people to those deeper stirrings in them, helping them get visibility of what their heart desires. There's this quote by Steve Jobs, which I love. He said, above all, have the courage to follow your heart and your intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary. Well, it seems to me that while our conditioning, our ego, our personality, our memories, they know about the past, our hearts know about the future. Our hearts know about what our deepest longings are. And so part of the art of enrollment, as I see it, is awakening people to those deepest longings, to those heartfelt desires, and supporting them, awakening from their conditioned ideas of themselves so they can get present to what truly matters. And my experience is that you can only do that if you're doing the same for yourself. And so that's what I discovered when I sat down to record that module. And I thought that would be a great place to start today's session. Thanks for your attention. I look forward to seeing you soon.